Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 1 in a series between Apollo's Ball versus Gamma Bears' Slam here on Cloud Kingdom. Here on the bottom left hand side of the map, we do have Gamma Bears' or Gamania Slam spawning as the red Zerg. Meanwhile, TT Esports' Apollo's Ball, title sponsor TT Esports, spawning as the blue Terran player here on the top right hand side of the map. Now, Cloud Kingdom, a map that I don't actually think I've seen in quite some time, so I am interested to see how the game unfolds here on Cloud Kingdom, as this is going to be another Terran versus Zerg. Terran versus Zerg was also the other matchups between Azubu's top versus Spider's Fly, and that was a very, very entertaining set. If you guys did not watch that already, make sure you do. But let's take a look at what's going down here. Slam already moving out with a very early Overlord, and he just wants to go ahead and scout out what his opponent is doing. We are going to see Ball set up a 1-Rax here before he sets up a gas, and I am curious to know what Ball is, or Softball is going to be doing here. So Ball is also known as Softball. If you guys wonder what he looks like, I believe he's on the packaging of the TT Esports' or Thermaltake's Theron mouse. Anyways, coming back around here, we are going to see that the barracks is being placed down, and it looks like this is just going to be a traditional 1-Rax expand without gas. So far, you can take a look at it here. The command center is really there. There it goes. I'm not quite sure why it glitches out on me like that so often. But we should see an upgrade to an orbital command, and then perhaps building of a command center down here. Meanwhile, we already see that it is going to be a hatchery first coming in from Slam, and then it should be followed up with the spawning pool. There it is. There's that spawning pool now, and then followed up with that spawning pool, we'll see what he tries to do for a third base. Now, third base options for Zerg, you can either take either this base here at the 9 o'clock position or this base here at what I'll call the center 7. Not a bad location to take, but it is kind of expanding closer to your opponent. This is also true as well, but it's a little bit more out of the way. Most players do try to take this just because it does give you high ground advantage. As you can see, there are ramps here, and along this side here, which is a very, very long walkway. Now, meanwhile, coming back around, you can see the barracks is being added here, a command center already placed down. We should be getting up a bunker, and this is setting up to be a very, very long macro game. Now, what is Slam's strategy going to be? I simply do not know. Still don't see gas. And we're really waiting for this to unfold here. You can see that there is double gas already inside the main base, so it looks like a Softball really wants to follow up with a factory, and then perhaps either some Hellbats or some sort of Banshee play, something that is a little bit more gas intensive, as he still has 3 workers on each of these refineries here. Orbital command finally being upgraded here at the natural, and I am surprised that Softball does not have, or Ball does not have, a bunker here at his front door. This is one of those things that you got to really be careful about. But perhaps he knew the timing on the hatchery, and then if he knew the timing on the hatchery, he knows what's going down and he knows what to expect in terms of everything else. There you have the Marines simply walking back up here. A front door now started by Ball, and it should be completed well in time. And so far, Slam is enjoying his macro. You can see that he is training up plenty of drones. He's going to get up to 16 drones on each of these bases in just a moment. Meanwhile, we can already see that Apollo's Ball is going to be going into what reactored Hellbats drop. Double Hellions currently being trained. Armory nearing completion, about 30 seconds away. Is Apollo going to go ahead, or is Ball going to go ahead and try to train up 4 Hellions and then make a move? No, just going to go ahead and train up 2. There's a third one being trained, as we are getting that front door bunker. This Overlord is still getting plenty of scouting information, as the Hellions now make a move down to the third base of Slam. Ball gonna scout out this hatchery. Pretty much know, you know what, there's not much I can really do here. At least I know that there is a base here, and all I can really do is just try to deny map control elsewhere on the map. You can see that the Zerglings are going to get taken down, but that is a lot of damage absorbed by those Hellions, and it will be a complete waste if they are not repaired. 4 Hellions now working together. Are they going to be able to do anything at all? There are the Queens, and the Queens pretty much just able to shoo back all of those Hellions in just a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, Hellbats are still being trained. 2 Hellbats on the field with 2 more coming in, and it looks as though it will be a double Hellbat drop or a quad Hellbat drop off of 2 medevacs. And that is going to be really, really important to see and really entertaining to see as drones just melt from the attack of those Hellbats. All right, there you go. Hellbats now already loaded up, ready to go. And it looks as though, see, Apollo's ball was very smart. He knew that there was most likely an Overlord right here, so he did not load his units within range of the Overlord here. Instead, he purposely loaded them up here and then took a route that Overlords normally do not position themselves, as they could get shot down by Marines. Now, the problem is going to be that Slam is going to spot all of this here in just a moment. There is a Spore Crawler already in position as the Hellbats now going to town off of all of these Zerglings and now going after some Roaches. Drones could get taken down. 1 drone gets taken down. The Hellbats now getting picked back up, and they will be able to return home. Harvester kills. Well, the Harvester count is now at 48 to 43, so not that big of a difference at all. Hellions now sitting off over here. Perhaps they'll be able to do an easy run by, but no, that is not going to be the case. There is already a Queen and a Spine Crawler ready to go to try and poke this apart. The Hellions now looking to come in, and is it going to find a drone? Yes, it finds 3 drones rather quickly and then runs away in absolute terror, hoping to himself that this guy over here does not take any additional thrashings from a Roach. We can see Hellbats, 2 kills, 1 kill, 3 kills, 1 kill. A handful of kills, just enough to make a little bit of a dent in the economy, as we still see more Marauders, Marines, and now more Hellbats joining in on the fight. This Viking hunting red Overlords should be able to clean up the skies and then start to deny more map sight. All right, what's going to happen here? Ball now trying to push in over here at what I will call the 6 o'clock position. The Hellions are now ready to go. They do not have those servos. They're not going to be able to use those abilities as the Marines. Hellbats now looking to come in, and there you go. What is going on here? You can see 1-1 upgrades on all of the range units. That is going to be important, as that what the Marauders and the Marines still seeing at 0-0. Roaches coming in and now just going to simply clean up, as all of the medevacs are going to get shot down. All right, every medevac down. Only Marauders and Marines are left. 1 Viking still surviving here, as the Queens are now working together to try and transfuse and save the last bit of Roaches. Roaches now chasing around. Is it going to be enough? Hellbats arrive to the party. Is it going to be able to heal enough? That is the question there, as we now see another Roach get taken down, another Roach get taken down, and both of these sides are just trading units. However, Slam, with a much more impressive army, should be able to just simply come in here, attack the front door, and try to crash on top of Ball's wall. Coming across, Roaches now looking to come in. Hellions, Marines, Marauders now backing off here, as we are establishing up the third base. Is it going to become a planetary fortress? No. Orbital command instead, which makes me wonder why it wasn't upgraded earlier, or was this command center just recently created and now landing? Muscular augments, Hydralis now being upgraded, and I am curious as to why Hydralis are being used. Hydralis have been one of those units where it wasn't really popular in Wings of Liberty. Now, for some reason, because of the metagame, it's starting to feel like Hydralis are a bit more popular, not because that they were upgraded significantly. Yes, the muscular augments do help. I believe the reason why is the change in the meta game. Terran players are not really training up siege tanks in mass like they used to, and siege tanks were actually the perfect counter to these low hit point units that tended to group together. If the siege tank could get 2 to 3 shots off, even though it may only kill 1 or 2 Hydralisks, it did enough damage. Alright, let's take a look at this here. Hellbat's not really doing much damage here at all. You can see the drones are now simply walking back to work. The drones all suffering a bit, but they will be able to get back home and go, you know what, I'm still alright. Marines, Hellbats, Marauders, Medivacs now making the slow walk down. Roaches and Hydralisks now making their way over to this 12 o'clock position. Is it going to be enough? Hydralisks and Roaches now going to just absolutely destroy this expansion before it gets up, and even though it is currently lifted off, the Hydralisk could finish it off here in just a moment. You can see that the SCVs are doing some massive restoration repairs, and wow, with Slam moving in just a little bit further to chase after that command center, actually gets boxed in by Ball, and that was a huge turnaround here. Slam trying to retreat, but the Marauders and the Marines are going to finish off a couple of these Hydralisks. Beautiful micro, getting off taking down the one Hydralisk that was slightly in the second or third from the back, so that it would slow down everything else and then allow the rest of the Marauders and the Marines to fall. So beautifully played by Ball there, as we now see all the units are once again going back to work. 81 drones versus 68 SCVs. Slam still looking really strong with 2-2 upgrades over the 1-1 upgrades. 1-1 upgrades of Ball on all of that bio infantry. You can see Creep Tumors now going to get cleaned up here. The Creep will start to recede, but the Hydras still have a significant movement speed advantage while on that Creep now. Alright, the Hydralisks now looking to back away. Are we going to see enough Hydralisks now making their way over? Is it going to be enough as the Marauders and the Marines now trying to chase in? It looks as though this hatchery may get taken down, but no. The Hydralisks are deciding to do a little bit of a stand here, and the Hydralisks are, in fact, yes, they are winning that fight and able to push back all of those Marines and these Marauders again. Overseer is still in the air. Another Hydralisk does get taken down as we now look at a couple Creep Tumors getting cleaned up. This is still an interesting play. Marauders and the Marines. Roaches now trying to pick off any units here. The Roaches are actually a little bit more beefy and do move slightly faster, but the Roaches cannot afford to be separated from those Hydralisks, as the Hydralisks are the main DPS now. Alright, more Creep Tumors trying to get cleaned up. No Creep Tumors within sight range. Doesn't want to get back up onto the high ground beyond that rock choke point, as we are now looking at the Viper. Alright, Marines, Marauders coming across. You can see that there is a Queen trying to focus down all of these Medivacs. The Medivacs, 164 versus 185 in terms of supply. The Hydras are still sitting off over here. And what are these Medivacs going to do? One Medivac gets sniped down. Oh, what was that? Alright, Ball must have been absolutely bonkers. He was asleep. And now he's at 147, 149 versus 194. A 50 supply advantage nearly. And this is just looking oh so crazy. You can take a look now. Slam just devouring this one particular evolution chamber, hoping to get more and more mana there. We are up to 157, 160. The evolution chamber may actually fall. No, it is just going to be left behind. And we are going to perhaps be getting either some yoinks or some blinding cloud coming in, as the Hydra is getting picked off slowly but surely. Hydralisks and Roaches now ready to go. What's coming back over here? Marauders and Marines hoping to protect this planetary fortress. Still no gas being placed down at all by Apollo's Ball. Coming across, Marauders and the Marines are ready to come down the ramp. Is it going to be enough? Marauders and the Marines going to clean up all of these Spore Crawlers, but no, in comes the other counterattack here. There are some Widow Mines. Medivacs getting picked and I guess getting shot down here, but no, the Vipers are not actually a good target. You can see perhaps Infestors would have been better. All of these units being clumped up together so much. And now the Blinding Cloud could be used. I'm not sure if Blinding Cloud actually affects buildings. And it says, yes, it is a melee attack. So far, the Hydras are going to try to engage here. Planetary Fortress is currently not attacking now. Finally coming back around. Another Hydras will get taken down. Nope, able to escape once more. All right, Slam is still sitting on about a 40 supply advantage, even though he took out a huge drop. Without that drop doing any damage, Slam still does not feel comfortable engaging straight up against the Terran player Apollo Ball. You can see the creep tumors now coming up the left side here. I would estimate around 60% of the map that's not a base is covered up in creep, maybe even 70. And eventually, those bases may be covered in creep as well. Bottom right-hand side, Slam. Now getting up additional gas. And will he have enough gas for whatever his particular strategy is? You can see that he's already sitting on about almost 6,000 resources, as the Marauders and the Marines are just going to be dropping from the sky to clean up these drones. All right, easy takings here, as we now see another expansion here getting a bit pressured. Slam burrowing all of these Hydralisks, as we are going to take a look at this handful of Marauders and Marines finishing off this hatchery. Coming across here, we can see the main attack force. Finally, Apollo Ball moving out with some siege tanks. Siege tanks will be key, as another drop now coming in here at the 9 o'clock position. Scanner sweep up on the high ground. Overseers are there. What is going to be happening next? As I believe that one particular Widow Mine will get taken down before it even gets up. Marauders now attempting to finish off this hatchery. And it looks as though the extractor is going to stay as well. A handful of Zerglings could finish it off. But is it going to be able to get there in time? All right, you can take a look here. Orbital Command, 300 hit points and rising, as it is on fire. But the SCV doing its job to make sure it doesn't go down. All right. Hydra is still trying to engage. Also, the Vipers being able to pull back those medevacs. That has been a huge advantage so far throughout this game. And is it going to continue? We are still seeing more and more Hydras getting into position. The Hydras are upgraded 3-3 against 3-3 bio. There's some Blinding Cloud, and a lot of the units in the backfield are unable to do anything at all. The siege tanks, what's going to be happening here? Are we perhaps going to get a little bit of yoinking action here, as the Marines now trying to follow this up? Siege tanks finally in siege mode, able to get off a nice round of shelling. But Slam, all he does is just instantly spend what was 6,000 resources, now down to 2 to get back up to maximum supply. 38 Hydralisks being trained, and with this may simply be too much for the Marauders and the Marines to deal with. However, those siege tanks in the back, and if they're spread out well, should be enough. No Blinding Cloud. This is going to be problematic. And what is happening here? Hydralisks need to get in position. And where is the Blinding Cloud? There is some Blinding Clouds there. Only one siege tank is operational. Marauders and the Marines, medevacs, and this is going to get cleaned up again, as the Hydralisks trying to finish off the Marauders and the Marines here. They are fighting on creep. You can see the siege tank is in the backfield here. Gonna try and clean up more of those Hydralisks, but those Hydralisks simply too strong at this point and still making a charge forward. Hydra's now bringing in, trying to take down this hatchery or this command center for, I believe, the 4th or 5th time. But Apollo's Ball once again able to bring over his squadron of units and now take down more. Hydralis now coming in to clear up here. Hydra's trying to focus down more units. Is it going to be enough? No. The Marauders and the Marines now getting back up onto the high ground and will simply be returning and regrouping. So far, it seems like the losses have been pretty even. Income-wise has been pretty even as well, except for the Terran player is hardly getting any gas. Yeah, no gas here. All these idle SCVs, not quite sure what Ball is really planning to do. Oh, a Widow Mine hit, getting in at least 1 kill, but also dealing a lot of damage to a tightly packed group of Hydralisks. All right, there is a couple yanks or yoinks there, trying to just focus down those medevacs. Medevacs really bolstering the effectiveness of Terran Bio. And when you don't have them, it really feels substantial how much you are missing, knowing that you cannot use stim all that often and knowing that your units are pretty much dead rather quickly. All right, Planetary Fortress, is it going to get repaired in time? It looks like a lot of SCVs will get taken down, and now this Planetary Fortress will go down as well. Down goes a Widow Mine here, and we are now down to 3 bases for Apollo's Ball. Creep Tumors now going to get cleaned up. Marauders and the Marines now looking to back off here. We are sitting at about a 60 supply advantage. Slam is still continuing to extend his lead, but Apollo's Ball is still being very annoying, trying to constantly harass mineral lines. Marauders and Marines now being brought over once again. What is that follow-up play going to be? Hydralisk now trying to shoot down onto the low ground, but finds a larger group of Hydralisks instead, and that was a huge battle there. Marauders and the Marines in the center, siege tanks, 2 of them now ready to go. Is it going to be enough to defend as the medevacs now backing off? So far, this Planetary Fortress is still operational. Another blinding cloud could land down. Oh, this could be huge. There's the Widow Mine. There's a scanner sweep. Marauders and Marines, and this is not a good engagement. All the rest of the units were not nearby, and you are now at a 50 or 60 supply discrepancy between these 2 armies. So far, Apollo's Ball is just playing very defensively, asking that all these units and that Slam engages into him. As long as Ball is defending, he will have the defender's advantage, being fortified and properly set up. All right, what's going to be going on next? You can see that there is still this base here. The gas has been taken down. A whole bunch of changelings now making their way in, taken down in a matter of seconds, as the Marauders and the Marines and the siege tanks are now ready to go. What's coming back over here? Still has 1 medevac there. Spore Crawlers being placed down. Hydralisks and Queens are in position. And with this many Hydralisks, Slam is just hoping to be able to attack move into this 3 o'clock position and take down this Planetary Fortress. He has not had that much luck yet, and we are still very even in terms of supply. In terms of harvesters, 53 to compare to 48. And with that, Slam still has about a 5,000 resource bank. All right, Marines, however, now coming in. This could be huge. Hydralisks now making their way over. No real way to stop them as the Hydralisks now backing off. Meanwhile, Hydralisks trying to take down this base once again. No, the Marauders and the Marines once again going to defend it. And now this orbital command will simply be landing. Coming across. Coming across here, medevacs are ready to go. You can see another, what was that? It took a little bit of damage there. We are going to see another scanner sweep come in. Marauders and the Marines are ready to go. Vikings are in position. There is the pluck, but it does end up taking down one of the Vipers, as well as the Marauders and the Marines are still trying to chase after all of these units. What's going to be happening next? You can see that this base has pretty much been stopped. Widow Mine getting in a very easy shot there. Another SCV gets taken down as a major battle happening over here. Marauders and the Marines now trying to engage. Once again, plucking out all of the medevacs and the siege tanks. Oh, the siege tanks. One of them is caught in the blinding cloud. The other 2 are still ready to shoot out. And I don't believe that Slam was ready for the 4 siege tanks in the backfield. 3,500 resources. We are still seeing this game slowly unfold. Siege tanks in a very good position here. Widow Mines now uprooting themselves. Where are they going to be traveling to next? As the Marauders and the Marines once again wander off to the north. It looks as though, yes, this hatchery is going to get shot down. There's no reinforcements just quite yet. The creep tumor does not extend between these bases as the Hydralisks are going to try to make their way over. All right, is it going to be enough? The Marauders and the Marines are here. Marauders are just here. There goes the Marauders, and the rest of those broodlings finish off the target there. Meanwhile, another engagement. A whole bunch of changelings are here ready to go as the Marauders and the Marines are going to try to fight it out. However, you cannot afford to walk into the siege tank line here, as those Hydralisks will simply just get torn apart. All of that splash damage simply too much for Slam, as he is still trying to find another way inside the base and to stop Apollo Ball. Apollo Ball currently only has, 17 harvesters now, and you would normally think that this game is over But Slam is just unsure of himself, not realizing the true economic advantage that he has. But things can go from bad to worse in just a second. Viper's now ready to go. Hydra's now being brought over, and this is going to be bad news. All the Hydra's now pushing in on the front door. Supply depot is going to get taken down. All the Marauders and the Marines are now on the high ground. Hydras can simply ignore the high ground and go, you know what? You got a lot more things back here on the low ground that you need. I'm just going to go ahead and take those down instead. But there are a lot of siege tanks and Widow Mines here as well. Swarm Host now being brought over to join in on the fight. Oh, it is just going to get killed for its efforts. And now all the units backing off again. We are still sitting at essentially two mining bases versus, two mining bases versus a half a mining base at this point. Another hatchery being placed down here, and we can also see another orbital command landing at the 1 o'clock position. So far, the Marauders and the Marines have been doing a good job to minimize all damage, but Slam has such a large advantage now with a much larger bank. I can't imagine that Ball will be able to get back in this one. Marauders and the Marines now looking to flank off to the north, and it really feels like Apollo's Ball is just trying to find an opening somewhere. He has not yet done so. He has not figured out where he can truly attack his opponent, and because he doesn't know where he can attack his opponent, he's having a difficult time. He is still trading very, very effectively, and we are still seeing some beautiful micro and some beautiful engagements by Ball, as he is now only stretching him into locations where he really absolutely needs to be. You can take a look at this. Not really harvesting minerals here from the 3 o'clock location anymore. He's already essentially strip mined out those bases. The main orbital command now landing at this one particular 1 o'clock expansion. But I still believe that Slam is just macroing up enough to finish off his opponent in one fell swoop. You can see no orbital command down over here. He's down to one orbital command. Apollo's Ball trying to hold on for dear life. Meanwhile, Slam could just pretty much walk inside the main base now, knock on the front door, huff and puff, and blow the house down, and then come out with the victory. All right, there is a couple of plucks. There you go. Units now taken down in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, a barracks now taken down. There's some more blinding cloud, but I don't believe that it actually affects your own units. No, it does not. As the Hydralisk now once again try to engage. All right. The Vipers trying to pluck some more units. Is it going to be enough? Once more we can see, and there we have it. There is the GG. Apollo's Ball gives the GG, and Gamania Slam, I believe, has not lost a game yet, takes the victory here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.